Right, it's a while since I've done one of these unboxing things. In this box, as you're about to see, is a new camera. Now, actually, I got rid of quite a few bits and pieces of electrical equipment, including a couple of cameras, just before Christmas, including a GoPro Hero 3, I think it was, so quite an old one. And this, in this box, hopefully, it arrived this morning, and hopefully there is a replacement GoPro, and it's the GoPro 10. Now, whoa, right, let's get rid of the packaging. Now, I went for the GoPro HERO10 Black Creator Edition, and in here I should have, well, 5 things. There are 5 things here, which is a good start. That's not the camera, that's the camera tripod. It's called Volta. This is the camera, the GoPro HERO10. They've almost caught up on the iPhones. There's a micro SD card there, 32 gigabytes. Here there is a light that fixes on top of the camera. And here is, well, what does it say? Media mod, weather resistant, directional microphone. It basically fits around the camera and is a microphone. Not sure if it's a protective housing as well. But anyway, these are the 5 bits that come with the camera. Now, like I said, I had a Hero, I think it was a Hero 3, or was it a Hero 5? But I bought that way back in, well, prior to cycling Tarifa to Noordkaap, so it must have been 2013, 2014. So 8 years ago. Things have clearly moved on, although the quality of that was brilliant. I sold it simply because, you know, technology does move on, and this is, the camera is 5.3K, 60 frames per second, 4K up to 120 frames per second. Now obviously the iPhone that I also use and the drone, they're both capable of 4K 30 frames per second. The iPhone more than that, but to have 3 cameras potentially on a trip that you could have that kind of quality image is quite exciting. Right. Let's have a look at the camera to begin with. It's fairly easy. I only ordered this 2 days ago, so the delivery was pretty good. I think it came from the Netherlands. Nice case there, protective case. Instructions, inevitable stickers, information there about the battery, I think. So you've got a cable. God, I used to have dozens of those. I think I threw a load out recently. That's the battery. I have to say the battery of my other GoPro, Hero 3 or 5, whatever it was not brilliant. It didn't last for very long, so I'm hoping that the new GoPro has been improved. That's the camera itself. I think the cameras now are a lot more protected from the elements than they used to be, because you used to have to buy a housing that you clipped it in. It was watertight and things like that, but I think now the camera itself is watertight. Inevitably more of those. That's so you can stick it somewhere. An adhesive thing there that slides onto it. And then you've got the screw that fits in there. Right. Bit more packaging, don't need that. Obviously I will keep that. So that's the camera itself. Now presumably it just slides off. And there are lots of protective little things, so just pull those off. And it's fundamentally the same as it was back in 2013 when I bought my other one, 2014, but obviously a slightly different design. That button looks a lot better. Okay, so that's the camera. Now, this Creator Edition, Black Creator Edition it's called, one of the good things about this from what I've read is the fact that it radically improves the battery life of the camera, because there's a battery somewhere housed in the tripod. It's meant for a handheld thing, and I used to have this long bend out thing with various arms that you bent out. It broke, but it was really good for when you were cycling. Again, more instructions. I'm going to spend the rest of the day having to read these, no doubt. Better keep them separate. Another cable. That's the tripod itself. And there's more. Again, another one of those screw things. Get rid of that. So you can use this as a tripod. There you go, that's the tripod. But I think people mainly use it for just sticking the camera on top and then having it as a device to hold the camera. You can see there are various buttons to connect it to the camera, so presumably that button there starts the camera. Oop. Also starts it. I'm going to ignore that. A few flashes of lights there. So that's keep these separate. That looks important, although I don't quite understand it immediately. So that's that. That's the tripod stroke holder stroke battery. Right, next up is a light. Could have done with a pair of scissors. More difficult to open than the other ones. Oops. Slide that out. More instructions. A little cover by the looks of it. The light itself presumably goes on there. Is that it? Are they going to give me... Oh, yeah. And another... How do you get into this? Another cable. So that's 3 cables. USB-C. Yeah, all of them. USB standard, USB-C there. So that's that. That's the lamp. That's the mini SD card. I'll leave that in its package for the time being. And then finally this, which is, well, it's called Media Mod, which makes little sense. Weather resistant directional mic. Yeah, but I think it's a housing that goes all the way around the edge. Good way to ruin a pen by doing this. I blame Apple for Apple really kind of upped the game in terms of packaging when they started making their iPhones, and now everything comes beautifully packaged. So here we go, more instructions. There we go. More attachments. Another screwy thing, and this is the microphone itself. Now that's obviously a windshield, and then that's the, if you can see there, that's the camera itself. So presumably when you're using it, that goes, yeah, that goes over there like that. Okay, fit that properly later. I think I've got everything out of the box. Missing anything? Nope. Right, so that's that, and then presumably this is going to take some fiddling, but that must release and open up. It looks as though, I don't want to break it without reading the instructions, but it looks to me as though that is the... No, I'm not going to force it, but it does look as though that's the... Can I do it? That somehow clips open, and then the camera fits inside, and then there's the connection there, again a USB connection. That looks to me a bit like a battery actually, so perhaps that also adds extra battery power. So with that on, and the battery, that one, inside the camera, perhaps they have solved the problem of the battery life after all. Right. Okay, so there you have it. The HERO10 Black Creator Edition unpacked. I think I've got a lot of reading to do now.